Hello, in today's episode we are going to be making a project where you can create a session, get the server list, of course, go all the way from the process of adding everything to this multiplayer game, making people able to join over Steam and Steamworks. The prerequisites for this video is having a Steamworks account, so that's a $100 green light fee, the advanced sessions plugins, and if there's anything else I'm going to mention it along the video. But yeah, okay, let us just get started. Now the very first thing, so first of all, I'm in just a normal third person template over here. You're going to need a couple of things. So the first thing you're going to need is the Steamworks SDK. That will be located, well, somewhere. I'm going to leave the link in the description, but you're going to have to download the Steamworks SDK. I'm going to close out of that. Then you're going to want to download the advanced systems, advanced sessions, whichever version you're on. I am on 5.1 as of right now, and it's working just fine. So download that as well, and then we can get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to install our advanced sessions. Now, in order to get to your content folder, you can just right click anywhere you want and show in Explorer. I have it here. So in here, if you have a plugins folder, then you're good to go. However, I don't, so I'm going to have to make one. I'm going to just call it plugins. Inside of this one, inside here, I'm just going to paste the plugins, both the advanced sessions and the advanced Steam sessions. Once that is done, we do need to add one more thing to our project. So we're going to go into our config. We're going to go into our default engine.ini. What you're going to need now to paste in the bottom is the information from the online subsystem Steam. You could just go all the way down. Don't need to know any of this really, unless you actually want to, make improvements and be better. Go all the way to the bottom, copy the entire finished settings there, go all the way to the bottom, Control V to paste it in here. You're going to start with the Space War ID, which is the ID that Steam uses for testing purposes. Now, here's where you're going to want to paste your own ID. So log into your Steamworks, and then at the URL, you're going to find the ID, or you're going to find the ID over here. You're just going to take that ID. That is, yeah, that should be fine. So I'm currently in the... Oh, maybe you're actually not here yet. So when you log in to Steam Games, you're going to find yourself over here. You're just going to scroll down until you get your application over here. Go into that, and then now you have your ID set up here or on the URL. I'm just going to paste mine, take mine, and then paste it here instead of the 480. And then I can save the default engine, and I can close out. I'm going to leave this Steamworks up for now, and because we are going to go back to that. Okay, so already now, you are able to start this game as a standalone game, and it's going to populate on your Steam friends list, showing that you are playing the name of your application. We need to set up a little system to join and create a server. I'm just going to do this real fast. I'm going to make a HUD. I'm going to put that HUD inside a level blueprint. On the event begin play, I'm going to create widget. It's going to be my HUD. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to get player controller and set show mouse cursor. I'm just going through this real fast because you already have this probably already sorted. If you don't, I'm just setting up the HUD and showing the mouse cursor, and I'm putting it in here because, yeah, it doesn't matter for me. I'm going into my HUD, and this is going to be a very simple HUD. It's going to have a canvas panel, a vertical box, and 2 buttons. So a button there, and then a text on the button. Select the button, Control D to duplicate. I'm going to pad this 50 to the top while I'm here. And this is going to be my create button, my join button. This text is going to be create session. This text is going to be join session. Like so. The vertical box needs to be scaled to content. And then I'm just going to put it down here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head into our graph for a little bit. On the create button, I'm going to create advanced sessions. Oh. So remember to restart so you can get your plugins enabled, and double check that the advanced sessions is on and that the subsystem Steam is on and all of that good stuff. Now I can go back into my HUD. onto my graph, into my create button, and I'm just going to do a create advanced session. Controller can be the owner or the player controller itself, doesn't matter. And this is where we need to test. So this is going to be using LAN. And on success, we're going to open level. Level is going to be our third person map. Options, I'm going to put listen. And actually, instead of the join button, we are going to have a server list. Doesn't matter, but we're going to do that. So in my widget, I'm going to create a new one. My WBP server list. Server list will comprise of a size box. Decide on screen. I'm going to do maybe 700 width, 400 height. It's going to have a scroll box inside of the size box, and then inside of that scroll box we're going to have a vertical box. This is going to be my server entries vert box. I'm going to put that as a variable. I can also wrap this with a vertical box just so I can get a text above everything saying server list. And then I'm going to add a button to my vertical box, a text to my button. It's going to be my refresh button. Text is going to be refresh, and I'm going to put that in the middle like so. So this is my server list. Now I can add that into my HUD, put it in the middle, size to content, and there we go. That's our little server list. Looks like shit, doesn't actually have anything in it. And also let's get this size box and wrap this size box with a border. And I'm gonna put the brush color of this border alpha down to like 0.4. Looks a little bit better. Okay, now we need to populate this. So on the refresh button, unclicked, we are going to get session. Advanced session. Where are you? Find session. Advanced. There we go. Player is still the owner or the player controller. I'm doing player controller. This one also has to be LAN for us because we're testing it locally right now. Max result, I'm going to put it to 999, and we are going to make another user widget interface. It's going to be the server list entry. It's going to comprise of a horizontal box. Inside this horizontal box, I'm going to have a text. I'm going to decide on screen. This text is going to be variable, and it's going to be my MS text. Default text is going to be 999 MS. Duplicate that text. Pad it like 15 to the left. This one is going to be my... should I do the server name? Nah, fuck server name. Yeah, I could do server name. Server name text. Just for the lulz. Jotun's server. Another one, which is going to be our players text. Yeah, number of players text, whatever. 9 out of 9 players. And then we are going to have a button. And another text inside of that button. I'm also going to pad this button 15 to the left. This button is going to be my join session button. Text is going to be join session. On the graph now, we're going to add a new variable. This was going to be my server info. And I'm going to search up session, and it's going to be a blueprint session result. I'm going to editable and expose on spawn. And then I'm going to start populating. So set text out of my MS text. Format text. Curly bracket, num, close curly bracket, MS. And then I'm just going to duplicate this 3 times. Yeah, 3 times, that should be enough. So for the MS, we're going to get our server info, get a MS, maximum ping, or get ping in MS, rather. Next one is the server name, so name, curly bracket name, server, something like that. It's going to be really long, the name, but it's, yeah, It's whatever. You can append and do everything you want. Parse out the correct info and do whatever you want with that. I'm not going to bother with it right now. Pass in the server name text, and finally we need the player text to be the one passed in. This one is going to be curly bracket num close curly bracket / curly bracket num2 close curly bracket players. Then we can get our server info, get current players, that's our num1, get max players, that's our num2. Then we can go back into our server list. So when we refresh the session on success, we want to do a for each loop. I'm also going to do a print on a failure. Fail to find session. Attempting to find session. And on each of these, I want to create a widget, which is going to be my server list entry. Array element is the server info. Get my server entries vert box. Add child to the vertical box. And what I'm also going to do is at the very start, when I click this button, I'm going to clear this vertical box. Like so. So that is going to find our sessions. So my HUD, so we create a session, that's all good. And then we find a session, and then on the server list entry, click the join session button, add an on-clicked event. Get your server info. Join session. Again, player controller is our get player owner or player controller. So we did the name is actually causing a bit of an issue. I'm gonna go to my server list, and I'm actually just gonna not do the name. I'm just gonna do a static Jotun server. You can make this look however you want. But if I now go here and then I go here, refresh it. You see that it's attempting to find, pops up twice, we're not talking about that. Click and join session, it's going to join the session, and now we're here. However, this ain't going to work on Steam yet. Because if you package this out now, it's going to work on locally, but it's not going to work on Steam. Until you select LAN to be set to 0, and the server list, there we go. LAN to be set to false. So both of these need to be false. Now, when we package this, we are technically good to go. Now, there's one final thing. Over on the project settings, we want to search for map, and then under packaging, list of maps to include in a package build. Here, we're going to put our third person map. That is the only map that I have here, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so if you get the same bug as me where it's not compiling and then actually being available, we need to go to tools and add a new C++. We're just going to do a none here and then a my class doesn't matter. This is just to initiate C++ in our project. And then we need to build from the IDE. Would you like to edit the code? Yeah, sure, because we're going to build there anyway. Close out the project. Now when we're in C++, when you're in here, now you're going to right click your project folder here and then click build on that. There we go. Once that is built, now I can go back and fire up this one. And then I need to export that. Build Windows, package the content. Once that is built, we can go into our Windows folder, test that, enable that, create the session. It's working just fine. Now we're going to upload this to Steam. So I'm going to delete those manifests, don't need them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into your Steamworks SDK folder. So you're going to unpack your Steamworks SDK, open the SDK, go into tools, go into your Steampipe GUI. So I'm just going to delete that and then start over. So I'm going to unpack my Steampipe GUI. And then I can open up my Steampipe GUI. In here is where you're going to start doing your shit. So basically, top left, place your app ID. It's going to automatically put your depot ID in. But you might as well go and check that on Steamworks if it doesn't work. The build path is where you have your project located. So currently for mine, it's on my G drive, projects, from Unreal to Steam and in Windows. I'm going to click the folder that contains all of these items. That is my depot. That is what's going to be uploaded. Then I want to browse at the bottom here. You want to get your Steamworks content builder path. I'm already in it, so it's in the Steamworks SDK. Select the folder that says content builder and click OK. Then you're going to log in, give it your Steam login and your Steam password. Then you're going to click generate VDFs, which is going to generate these text files here. You do not have to worry about these text files one bit. After you've done that once, you don't have to do it again, I believe. Once that is done, you're going to click upload. And that is going to tell Steamworks to start uploading and shit. And you need to give it the 2FA from your Steam authenticator if you have one of those. Once that is done, you can see that it's starting to upload the depot to Steam. Now I'm going to see you over on the Steamworks website. So I'll see you there. Okay, so now that we're on the Steamworks website, I have logged in and I'm currently at the dashboard. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to click my application. Once I'm in my application, I'm going to scroll down to my technical tools. I wish that this was in English actually. I'm going to scroll down to my technical tools, edit Steamworks settings. And that's going to give me to the application. You can fuck around with this however you want it to be. I'm just going to go through the things that you need to. Go into installation and general install. No, actually we're going to go into builds. Yeah, let's go into builds. This is where you see the build that you have just made. I currently have a couple here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this anyway. So select your branch and then set it to the default branch. Once that is done, you can, technically this is now done, we just have to publish. However, we're going to go to general installation first. And over here, so the current install folder is inside of Steam apps is basically what it's going to be called. So for me, that's going to be drag&drop. You can change this however you want. The executable, however, that is the most important thing. You need to find the correct location for this. And if it doesn't work, you're going to get a notice saying that it didn't work. I know that mine, well, actually, I don't know anything about this one, actually. So we're just going to do a publish on this, and then we'll see if it actually works. So head over to publish, top right side. View diffs, see what has changed. Depot got changed by me. Prepare for publishing. Publish to Steam. Steamworks is the password. And that is it. Oh, sorry, I forgot. When you set it, add preview change to that. Then set the build. Set the build live. Sorry about that. Now we're good to go. I have found that I have to restart Steam in order to get the update. I have restarted my Steam. And now you can see that it's updating accordingly to the new branch that we set live. I'm going to play on this. Oh, we actually have the issue where we are looking for it in the drag&drop Windows drag&drop.exe. So problem is that it's definitely in Windows. However, it's not called drag&drop. It's called from Unreal to Steam. So in order to fix that, I just go back to my general installation. I set this to be, edit this first. And it's going to be this one instead. I'm going to click update. Go to publish. Prepare for publishing. Publish to Steam. Steamworks, ready to publish, really publish. And then I can go back to my Steam. Okay, we're still on a issue here. He's looking for the executable drag&drop Windows from Unreal. So it's currently inside of drag&drop. It's skipping Windows completely. We do not have to do Windows on this one, it seems. So I'm just gonna leave this in on the video so you can see how I go about actually looking for the answer to this, because you might be having the same problem. Updating that, go into publish, prepare for publishing, publish to Steam, Steamworks, really publish. Okay, restart it once more. Now it is good to go. I'm gonna have a friend to test this with me and then have him join as well so we know that it's actually working. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a friend to start the game. He's a partner on my Steamworks. He's gonna set up a server. I'm just gonna click refresh and there we go, Jotun server. And I'm clicking join on that. And there we go. So it's fucking working. Awesome. Okay. Then now I'm going to be the one starting the game. So I'm starting a session. Waiting. Oh, he's restarting his game. He should be able to see the server. There we go. There's the player. Awesome. Woohoo. Okay. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something and I will see you next time. Okay. Bye-bye.